speaking with the cast of our friend today from Gravitas Ventures, Dakota Johnson. And Dakota Johnson, never seen you like this before, both in physical sense, but then just as vulnerable as I think we've ever seen you in any performance you've delivered before. So how did you prepare for taking on a role in which it was going to require a lot of you?
I think that I felt profoundly affected by how vibrant Nicole was from what I learned about her and read and spoke to Matt Teague about, and how it's so common that people's lives are they're robbed of them, and so many brilliant people are, lost to terminal diseases at such a young age, and it just like deeply affected me, and I felt very connected to the story, and the relationships in it, I think, were so beautifully written and very clear to me that it was a real accessing all of that was not it was just organic. It felt very raw, and it felt very legitimate, I guess. And I don't really know. I think that it's a tragic story, and then having the levity and the comedy and the really intelligent humor that's kind of sprinkled throughout it made a lot of sense to me and my heart.
Yeah. Dakota, I have a question for you, because there was just looking in the comparisons of the character that you're portraying, Nicole. You are the age, I believe, right now, or at the time of filming, that you're the age in which she got diagnosed with cancer, or just about, like, give or take a year. Did you see that parallel between where you currently are and imagining what it would be like at this age, or the age that you were when you filmed it, to get that type of diagnosis?
I think just being around the same age as her, you can feel pretty empathetic. I did. But, I'm not a mom, and I am very lucky and grateful to not have a terminal illness. So I think there was definitely an eerie, of course I'm the same age as her because I had to be to play.
But just meaning that you're a young woman, so with a terminal illness, like when people think of that, they think of like terminal illnesses coming from people when they're like 50 or 60 or older than that, and then here is a 30-year-old dealing with something like that.
Yeah, I think that's what I was saying is the reason it reached me so deeply, is that it's someone being completely robbed of their life and the opportunity to watch her children grow up and know them, and also know herself. 30 is young. I don't feel young right now these days. It feels like right now we're in like a time warp where time has stopped, but you keep aging and it's not fair. Like you can't do anything, but you keep getting older. So I actually feel like this is a sidebar, but everybody should get, however long the pandemic takes, you should get that amount of time taken off your age when you come out of it.
Ooh, nice. It's like Thanos snapping his fingers and then they come back and they were the same age. So I'm down with that. See, the Queen says and we obey. So I'm all right with that. We can make that happen when this is all over.
All I had to do was show someone who was fainted and wore like 6 different kinds of open-toed sandals, which was Matt. Matt no one's got the dad look down better than Matt. They're like running shorts, button-down shirt, visor, and sandals. He'll just put it together and show up on set and then pass out. So
Dakota actually gave a great segue to my next question, which was to Dakota, because when someone passes away and you get all the after, the reflections on their life, it's always positive. Like, they were the greatest person, they were sweet, they were warm. However, you have to portray a real person because no one is infallible. There are faults and flaws to everyone. So was that difficult for you to try to make her real, and then in the film, obviously, without giving anything away, there are some choices that she makes that are, not seen in the best light when she was alive.
It's tricky. I felt a lot of freedom in Gabriella telling us that it wasn't to emulate the people precisely, it was to make the story authentic and the relationships authentic. And being in the town, people would tell me little things, and it was helpful. It was just helpful to feel who she was, and if something came up in the performance that if it just arose in a way that was like her, it's hard because she's not around and there's not a lot of footage, or there's a few photos of her, so it's a tricky, especially tricky for me because the guys had people to talk to if they wanted to, but I think that the point was more to have everything feel real than to be perfectly someone else.
Yeah.
There were a couple moments that were in the script that we ended up shooting a bit differently, because I think it was Gabriella who was realizing that the way to tell this story and have it reach people is to deliver it in a sort of very organic, like not too lighthearted and not too gruesome, but like really pretty, like the pendulum swings between the two, but it would have been really distracting to see some of the things. And it's not, the movie, I think, is not about the suffering, it's about the love, and it's about the compassion and the life, and rather than the dying. So that was kind of her choice.
Yeah.
Which now I think makes sense.
I
think I just would like to remember more often to be as gentle as possible with humanity, with my humanity and everyone around me, because it's complicated and it's messy being a human, and like hilarious and beautiful and painful. So just to remember that everybody has pain and beauty. I think it is like relieving to remember that.
Listen, I respect all of you. I love everything that you guys do, and just great job once again. Thanks everyone for watching Variety Streaming Room with this conversation for our friend, and make sure you tell all your friends to watch it. Currently out.
Thanks, Clayton.
Thank you, Clayton.